The echoes of shattering jade still linger over the Bloodfire Plateau, where flames of alchemical energy have carved scars into the earth itself. Only hours ago, Meng Hao faced the collapse of the Forbidden Pill Sect's outer defenses, a battle that left both friend and foe trembling on the edge of ruin. Now, whispers crawl through the smoke, rumors of a mysterious envoy approaching from the northern peaks, bearing a secret that could tilt the scales of power forever. Tension coils in the air like a serpent ready to strike, and in this precarious silence, every heartbeat counts. Prepare to witness the unraveling of fate in Alchemy Emperor of the Divine Dao, Chapter 1633, Chapter 1634. In the storm-racked heavens above, the Empress stood alone, her aura blazing like a crimson sun amidst the fury of the celestial tribulation. 9 illusions, mere shadows of herself, had been cast away, leaving her to confront the raging lightning giant in her true form. Bold, unyielding, she had always thrived on challenge, and with no eyes to witness her secrets, she unleashed her full prowess. The air itself seemed to hum in recognition of her power as she struck, a tempest incarnate, beating down the Saint King tier adversary without hesitation. What once was a figure of lofty, untouchable might now trembled before her dominance, pressed beneath her martial authority. Yet beside her, Ling Han did not share the same ease. His body, though resilient, was not yet fully tempered. The lightning of the heavens did not fear him. He feared himself. In previous times, he had shattered his own flesh to grow stronger, but today he dared not risk such extremes. Instead, he absorbed the divine fury in measured draughts, letting the electrified currents caress his godly bones, honing them with tempered precision. To an outsider, this would have seemed madness incarnate. To temper one's body with the raw strike of a Saint King tier, even in moderation, was the mark of a cultivator beyond mortal comprehension. Truly, the two of them, husband and wife, were anomalies in the world of mortals and saints alike. One danced with heavenly wrath, the other foraged lightning like a craftsman shaping molten steel. Ling Han's caution was warranted. The heart of the tribulation clouds harbored peak Saint Kings by the countless, and his current strength barely brushed the early stages of the Saint King tier. To plunge deeper would be courting annihilation. The fluid of the heavenly tribulation, wild and untamed, would surely have torn him asunder. Perhaps only in a future lifetime, when his power rose to meet such a trial, could he dare to harvest it in full. When the storm passed, the two exchanged a knowing glance. Confidence radiated from them like twin suns, for they had mastered not just the laws of the immortal realm, but those of the netherworld as well. Where others saw boundaries, they saw unity. Where others struggled, they had merged the regulations of two realms into a single, harmonious force. With this, even the mightiest enemies of the ancient realm would kneel before their joint power. "Shall we hunt down our enemies now?" the Empress asked, her eyes gleaming with retribution. Ling Han's gaze was far-reaching, contemplative. "Not yet. First, we must perfect the merging of the two realms. If we succeed, the merit we will reap will be boundless, immeasurable." His mind traced back to the old days of opening the sky in countless small worlds and the immense reward from heaven itself. To conquer the ancient realm's mysteries would eclipse even those feats 1,000-fold. The Empress nodded, understanding that their ambitions reached beyond simple vengeance. They were destined for the celestial crown, and every step must fortify them for that ultimate ascent. Within the shadowed halls of the Black Tower, they settled into their private cultivation. The Empress focused on stabilizing her formidable power, while Ling Han delved into the arcane world of formations. He had unraveled tens of thousands of intricate arrangements within a mystery realm, building foundations that resonated like the echo of mountains. Countless discussions with the tranquil heart saint had brought his understanding to a level rivaling even a small saint's mastery. Yet now, it was time for him to reach further. Years passed beneath the reincarnation tree, a stretch of time unfathomable to the outside world. 3 mortal years slipped by, while 100,000 cycles ticked in the sacred shadows. Then, in a sudden awakening, Ling Han's eyes ignited. He had reached the saint tier in formations, a milestone of precision and insight. The small saint tier knowledge imparted by the tranquil heart saint was merely the stepping stone. Ling Han now possessed the vision to emulate celestial level formations, adapting them into feasible constructs for his godly frame. A year of secluded study followed, during which he deconstructed a portion of a celestial-level formation. Its might resonated like the crescendo of peak Great Saint Tier power. He inscribed the patterns upon his godly bones with the searing nine heavens flame, each etching a testament to his burgeoning might. Alone, his prowess matched the early Great Saint Tier. With formations activated, even peak Saint Kings would falter beneath his onslaught. A smile curved his lips. These 4 years, filled with relentless toil, had yielded incomparable rewards. Yet the world offered no shortcuts. Alchemical pills could not hasten his Saint Tier cultivation. Only his painstaking journey from Eternal River Tier through Genesis Tier had prepared him for this ascent. Even prodigies like the Heavenly Phoenix Divine Maiden struggled against the limits of their small Saint Tier, despite her inheritance from 3 Phoenix Kings. For Ling Han, acceleration now lay solely in saintly medicines, treasures few and far between across the ancient realm. He pondered the path forward. To breach Saint King Tier, collect more heavenly tribulation fluid, and harness it fully, or to leap towards the celestial realm, rich with resources and medicine of untold potency. After careful deliberation, he resolved. The next great saint tribulation would see him venture into the heart of the thunderclouds. There, he would seize the tribulation's fury, bending it to his will, and reap its boundless benefits. Only by mastering this could he unlock the doors to the celestial realm. Ling Han sipped from the heavenly tribulation fluid, and instantly his body ignited with raw lightning. Every nerve and bone screamed as if to fracture, godly bones straining against the violent currents. Though strengthened to the level of level 20 godly metal, his frame quivered under the assault, threatening to collapse. Even the Empress, with all her distributed might, would not survive this torrent unleashed within his core. Teeth gritted, he channeled the indestructible Heaven Scroll, summoning the full force of his cultivation to stabilize his form. Slowly, the furious current subsided, yet the reprieve was brief. 30 heartbeats passed before agony tore through him. The partial healing of his bones shattered once more under the tempest, blood searing from cracks along his skin. The power of even a mere sip of heavenly tribulation fluid was staggering, revealing the truth behind Small Tower's cryptic caution. The sip was not merely small, but a fraction of a fraction. Rage and pain mingled on his lips as he cursed the obstinate tower, vowing a future reckoning. And yet, in that torment, Ling Han's resolve only deepened. Each crack, each spark of lightning, was a lesson in mastery and survival, a step closer to the pinnacle of Saint King Tier and beyond, for in the world of cultivation, only those who embraced the storm could claim dominion over heaven and earth. The skies had rumbled and crackled for nearly half a day, a storm of divine might that left the world trembling. Ling Han, drenched and worn, had been reduced to little more than mud, his body broken and battered by the raw force of the heavenly tribulation fluid he had consumed. Yet, this was no ordinary trial. Only a Genesis Tier cultivator armed with the indestructible power of the Heaven Scroll could even hope to endure such torment. Most would have perished instantly. But Ling Han survived, and in survival, power had blossomed. The essence of lightning, the sacred Dao of the element itself, unfolded within his mind, fragmented and incomplete, like a mosaic of infinite shards. Some shards gleamed large and clear, others so tiny they eluded mortal sight. The fluid, stolen from the ancient realm, carried inherent limitations. Yet, Ling Han required no perfection. The great Daos of heaven were vast, and his mortal comprehension need only grasp the pieces he could wield. He chose the largest shards, the fragments most complete, allowing their raw wisdom to seep into his consciousness. A day passed beneath the sheltering boughs of the reincarnation tree. A single cycle stretching to the measure of a century in meditation. Ling Han's eyes opened, weary yet unyielding. Another sip of the heavenly tribulation fluid brushed his lips. A cautious taste this time, and agony tore through him as before, though tempered now by experience. Even in these meager measures, the fluid's destructive power roared, echoing the wrath of heaven itself. Over the year, Ling Han divided the sacred fluid into hundreds of portions, enduring each sip, each trial of body and mind. With every drop, the lightning element Dao within him grew, sharpened by pain and tempered by insight. From this crucible emerged 2 mystical powers. radiant with celestial potential. Extermination lightning and lightning flash. Extermination lightning was no mere mimicry of thunder. It was the essence of divine punishment, the core energy of the heavenly tribulation itself. Saints and kings alike would shudder at its strike. Ling Han could unleash it freely, embedding it within the lightning sword technique to elevate its destructive might to a plane few could hope to challenge. Lightning Flash, on the other hand, granted speed that rivaled the heaven-sent bolt itself. No foe could outrun its wrath. Pursuit and escape became effortless under its sway, though such velocity could not be sustained indefinitely. Ling Han smiled to himself, comparing it to the legendary Thunderclap Ninth Heaven. Yet knowing that even this ancient technique paled in comparison to the power he now wielded. With his newfound strength, he set his sights on the two-realm battlefield. The Open Cloud's king, a worthy adversary, would serve as a perfect test, but the karmic link tied to Zhang Badu had long since dissipated. Only the Empress's link remained, her single tribulation yet incomplete. Ling Han's golden path unfurled as he departed the Black Tower, the clouds of destiny parting before him as he journeyed toward Cloud Apex Planet. Along the way, news arrived. The Rain Emperor had broken through, a Saint-tier cultivator now. He had faced a tribulation meant for lesser powers. Merging the rules of two realms without the protections Ling Han had, his survival was miraculous, a testament to his indomitable will. Even as his body endured blows that would fell most, he clung to life, advancing his origin power to the peak of the small Saint tier. Ling Han, the Empress, and the Rain Emperor entered the two-realm battlefield, each poised as a pivot in the delicate dance of merging worlds. They were novices in this domain, feeling their way through the interlacing threads of two realms. Yet the heavens themselves seemed to respond, calling to them in whispers of creation and destruction. Progress was slow, the opposition of the realm's natural forces resisting. But by serving as living conduits, their bodies became bridges of light. 3 pillars surged skyward, visible to both immortal realm and netherworld. And the trembling of heaven and earth heralded a monumental shift. The realms were merging faster, drawn together by the power of these 3 prodigies. As lightning crackled across the battlefield, their hearts beat with anticipation. The circulation of the two realms' regulations within their bodies accelerated cultivation and deepened comprehension. Stars bloomed in their dantians with each breath. Each pulse of energy a testament to the immense boon granted by their daring. Even if no celestial reward awaited after the realm's union, the growth within them was treasure enough. But at the peak of this moment, a rift tore open in the fabric of space. Through it emerged a figure radiating boundless might, a presence so overwhelming that even the seasoned Ling Han felt a tremor of caution. Instinctively, he seized the Empress and the Rain Emperor, vanishing in a flash of lightning to a distance beyond mortal sight. Yet even in retreat, the figure pursued with terrifying swiftness, closing the gap with ease and an air of nonchalance that spoke of mastery beyond reckoning. "Do not be afraid. I come under the command of the young Imperial Empress," the figure declared, and the chaotic aura surrounding them dissolved. The one who emerged was a woman, perhaps in her 30s, her visage not fair, but resolute, strong in the way of warriors, her beauty tempered by the gravity of purpose rather than charm. Ling Han hesitated, a name slipping from his lips. Who knew? "The young Imperial Empress has been bestowed the name Tian Yun," she said, solemnity etched in every line of her face, reverence in her tone, as if standing before a towering presence of divine authority. Ling Han's brow furrowed in confusion and faint amusement. The truth revealed itself in the smallest detail. She was ugly, unmistakably so. How could it be otherwise? The little jealous lover would never dispatch a beauty to deliver her will. The signs were undeniable. And so, beneath the merging heavens and amidst the crackling aura of 1,000 realms, destiny's currents pulled Ling Han and his companions toward the unfolding drama of the two-realm battlefield, each heartbeat echoing with the promise of celestial battles yet to come.